Hello, geometry students. In this lesson, a continuation of rotations. Rotations is another one of the transformations, and it is an isometry. I didn't mention why this is called an isometry on the last one. An isometry literally means same measure. The iso prefix, you've probably heard it before in isobars or isotherms. And metry, of course, means measurement. What happens is if you're taking a figure and you're rotating it, the rotation does not change the shape. It has the same measurement. It's just in a different position or a different location on the coordinate grid. On this one, we're going to be talking about rotations that are away from the origin. To me, this is the hardest type because there are no rules for it. You pretty much just have to draw a picture every time. So before I get started, I'm going to find the coordinates, even though I won't be able to use a rule on these. -4, 2 for P, and N, -4, -1. And I want to know what they turn into, but again, on this one, I have no rules for it. I really am just going to have to take a little piece of paper. First of all, it's telling me I'm rotating this around -1, +1. -1, +1 is right here. So here's the way I'm going to think of this. To get to E from my new origin or my new location, I go over 1 and up 2. Well, I'm going to rotate that. I probably should have started this before. I like to draw a picture. 90 degrees counterclockwise means I'm rotating it. So what I have to do is I have to take this little L and rotate it in that direction. If I could show you with movement, I could. It would be better. Take a little piece of paper or your fingers and actually rotate them. And what you end up with is this location right here. That's E prime. I'm going to label it later because I don't know if it's going to be, I don't want to clutter up my picture. To find P, I'm going to do the same thing. I make my little L, and then I'm going to rotate that little L with a piece of paper or my finger, and it ends up going down here. Same thing with N. N is going to go out 3 and down 2. I want you to see that's where I'm going to be ending up. It's going to look something like this. Here is my new N. That's N prime. This was P prime. And this was E prime. You just have to be careful and look at a picture. So now for the coordinates, E is -3, 0. P prime, -2, -2. N prime, side to side, 1 and down 2, so 1, -2. Again, there's no rule for that, although I will say that if you're rotating something around this point, you can make a rule based on this information, but you probably won't see that problem again. Look at number this one. 5, of course, is a continuation of the previous lesson. Sketch the image around the rotation 90 degrees clockwise. Look at the clock to know which direction you're going in. I'm going to make a little L for each one of these, and I'm going to, or use my finger, piece of paper, and rotate it around. It's telling me around the point P. Fortunately, they gave it to me this time. Before I get started, though, I'm actually going to write out the coordinates, not looking at P. Just find the coordinates of A from the origin. It's +1, -1. I don't know what A prime is going to be. K is 3, -2. I don't know what K prime is going to be. And then W, -1, -4. And I'm going to find out what W prime is going to be. And I'm going to find that by taking a little piece of paper and rotating it. So to get from P to A, it's 2 down. Well, I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. And so I find my new A is located right here. how to get to K. Over 2, down 3. That's what that's going to look like. That's not too bad. Don't need to erase that one. So here's my new K. And then to get to W, my L is going a different direction, but to get from P to W, there's my L. So you get the idea. Don't want to clutter up my picture. So my new W is going to be up 2 and back, it looks like 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there it is, W. If you look at the picture, you can see that it was rotated 90 degrees that way. And now that I have my picture, it's probably best if you erase everything and go back to the origin. And I'm looking for the coordinates of P prime from the origin. It's -1, +1. From the origin, oh, whoops. That's not P, that's A. A prime. A prime, -1, +1. K prime is -2, -1. And W is -4, +3. Notice there's no rule that you can come up with on this. You pretty much just have to use a picture every time. One more. Sketch the image around a 90 degrees counterclockwise. Look at the clock to figure out the direction you're going in. Before I get started, I'm going to find the coordinates of S. That's -4, 0. U is -4, -3. X, a -2, -4. Find your location. -2, -1, fortunately, is located, already marked for me. So to find S, I go out 2, back 2, and up 1. I'm rotating this way. I would keep on if I needed to. That's the only way I can show movement. So my new picture is going to be, this is S prime. This is going to get definitely kind of cluttered. Same thing for U. From C, you go back and down. Here's my new U. Finally, for X, from C, I just go down 3. That will be my new X. It's located right here. So here's my new U prime, and this one is my new S prime. So erase everything and go back to just the blue. What's the location of this point right here? It's -3, -3. What's the location of U prime? From the origin, it's side to side 0, down 3. What's the location of X? From the origin, it's +1, -1. And that's rotations around a point other than the origin. And that's that.